Hi, I'm Bill Osmolsky, and this is your MacIver News Weekend Report for the last weekend of September 2013. Starting off last weekend at the Wisconsin Counties Association's annual convention, a resolution was passed about Medicaid. The county said the resolution was a general position about working with Governor Walker to expand Medicaid when possible. However, liberal group Citizen Action of Wisconsin said the county's resolution was about pressuring Walker to take Obamacare funding to expand Medicaid. The Associated Press printed what Citizen Action said, and the county's association began the week by trying to set the record straight. You can click here to see that story. Also from last Sunday, Representative Dale Koyenga took issue with a PolitiFact that he says puts words in his mouth and then calls him a liar. I sat down with the representative to talk about that. You can see the full story by clicking here. It's also at the end of this playlist you're watching now. Early in the week, Governor Walker and Republican leadership announced a new jobs package for the fall. It includes 8 bills that focus on addressing the state's labor shortage. Representative Dale Koyenga wrote one of the bills that would allow students to take licensing exams prior to completing their training. They would then get the license as soon as they graduate. Currently, the delay can last months.
There's nothing in here that's a huge game changer, but essentially we've been responsible for taking small steps and just keep moving the ball down the field, and that's what the jobs package represents.
You can read more by clicking here. Also, MacIver News has covered the state's labor shortage extensively in the past. One of those videos has been included in this playlist you're watching now. A series of national education standards called Common Core has set off a lot of controversy throughout the country. The state of Wisconsin began implementing those standards back in 2010, but this most recent state budget temporarily halted that process. Now Governor Walker is asking the legislature to hold public hearings in the spring to take a closer look at the standards. You can find the MacIver story by clicking here and read more about possible state standards that could replace Common Core. Moving on to next week, Tuesday is the first day of Obamacare. That's when the healthcare exchanges officially open and people can begin signing up for coverage, which would then kick in on January 1st. The Wisconsin Office of the Commissioner of Insurance has been holding presentations around the state to answer people's questions about Obamacare. About 40 people were at this one at UW-Rock County in Janesville on Thursday night. One fun fact that you might already have known: under Obamacare, the annual out-of-pocket maximum is over $6,300 for an individual and $12,700 for a family.
If you go out of network, these limits don't apply. They're going to have different limits attached to the policy. So the important thing to understand is that these limits only apply when you're going in network.
Something new we learned this past week: the Department of Health and Human Services says Wisconsin will have some of the highest premiums in the country, averaging $361 a month. Click here to read about that. Also, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield will no longer be offering new individual plans in 41 out of 72 counties in the state starting October 1st. You can click here to read more about that. Senator Ted Cruz from Texas gave the 4th longest floor speech in U.S. Senate history. Starting on Tuesday, he spoke for 21 hours and 19 minutes. At one point, he talked about the MacIver Institute.
Brett Healy from the John K. MacIver Institute for Public Policy in Wisconsin. Before Obamacare, Wisconsin had one of the better health insurance markets in the country that covered the vast majority of our citizens. Now, under Obamacare, Wisconsinites will see insurance premiums increase on average 51%. And in many parts of the Badger State, we will have only one company to choose from and no consumer choice. In Wisconsin, the Affordable Care Act is proving to be not affordable at all, and the uncertainty surrounding its implementation is weighing on our employers and holding back our economic recovery. Wisconsinites deserve better.
The Senate voted on Friday to not defund Obamacare. Finally, the state could soon decide who will have to pay for Milwaukee's streetcar: the city of Milwaukee or utility customers who don't even live in the city. The streetcar line would require underground utilities to be moved at a cost of over $70 million. The city wants the utility companies to pay for that, which means it could be passed on to ratepayers who don't even live in the county. The state budget included a provision that would force Milwaukee to pay for its own projects. MacIver's president, Brett Healy, raised this issue 2 years ago and is now calling on the PSC to make a decision. The city of Milwaukee is ready to appeal if the commission decides in favor of the ratepayers. You could read more about that by clicking here. That'll do it for this week's Weekend Report. We've got some more videos lined up for you in this playlist, so be sure to stick around for those before heading out to enjoy the rest of your weekend. For the MacIver Institute, I'm Bill Osmolsky.